In this video, we're going to be finding mean absolute deviation. So, mean absolute deviation, we are finding the average distance between each data point and the mean of our set. So, here are our steps. Step one says we are finding the mean. Step two says we're finding the absolute value of the differences between each point and the mean. And then step three, determine the mean of the absolute value of the differences. So here, to put it simply, we are adding, dividing, subtract, add, divide. These are your 5 steps whenever you are finding mean absolute deviation. Now, a keyword here that we will talk about in a bit is the absolute value of the differences. So we'll talk about that in the next slide whenever we look at our example. So here it says the number of lesson objectives completed by 6 students taking a self-paced online class are listed below. We have 16, 31, 21, 37, 24, and 26. And we want to know what is the mean absolute deviation of these listed numbers. So when I do mean absolute deviation, I like to keep it a bit neat and I like to create this chart. So I start off by rewriting my numbers. I have 16, 31, 21, 37, 24, and 26. So remember, our steps are to add, divide, subtract, add, divide. So my first step is to add these numbers up. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my calculator. And let's go ahead and type in these numbers. So we have 16 plus 31 plus 21 plus 37 plus 24 plus 26. And now we see that when we add these values up, we get 155. Now we're going to divide by the amount of numbers that we have. So when I divide, I'm dividing by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So 155 divided by 6 gives me 25.83. I'm just going to round this to 25.8. Now, this is the mean. The first time we add and divide, this is the mean. So now with the mean, we're going to go ahead and subtract 25.8 from each of our values. And when we subtract this, we want the absolute value. So remember, absolute value means that it is the distance away from 0. So for example, here we have 16 minus 25.8. It is negative 9.8, but the distance away from 0 is just 9.8. So the absolute value is 9.8. Basically, we're just dropping the negative. So then we have 31 minus 25.8, and we get 5.2. We have 21 minus 25.8, and we get negative 4.8. But again, absolute value, so just 4.8. We have 37 minus 25.8, and we get 11.2. Then we have 24 minus 25.8, and we get 1.8. And then 26 minus 25.8, we get 0.2. So now that we have found the absolute value of the differences, we are going to add them up again. So in our calculator, we're going to put 9.8 plus 5.2 plus 4.8 plus 11.2 plus 1.8 plus 0.2, and we get 33. So I added it up and I got 33, and our last step is going to be to divide by the amount of numbers there are, and here we have 6 numbers. So 33 divided by 6, I would include a decimal, so I would give it to you as a decimal. We get 5.5. So here, 5.5 is the MAD. So here our answer is A. So again, here are your steps: add, divide, subtract, add, divide. And again, I would really suggest you set up a chart to keep yourself a bit more organized. So again, just quickly going through it, when we add and divide the first time, that is the mean. When we then we subtract the mean from each of our original points. Then we take the absolute value and add and divide again, and that gives us the MAD. So that is mean absolute deviation.